G'day guys, it's FPL EJ and welcome back to another video. So today, as you can see above, we're going to be looking at some Game Week 5 watch list, but it won't be just Game Week 5, you'll see in a minute. So I hope you guys enjoy. If you do, drop this video a like and subscribe down below, it means so much. So let's get into this banger. Okay, so for this video, I've done something a bit different than I've done for any other videos. I've actually put together a bit of an index planner kind of list thing before we get actually into the players and talking about the players individually and stuff. So yeah, okay, so some things that will be involved in this watch list. First point we've got here is players for you to consider in either Game Week 5, 6, 7, 8 on a wild card. Doesn't have to be just those game weeks anymore past 8 or whatever, but they're just the most recent ones coming up. And yes, this video is pretty late. I know 5 AM tomorrow for Australians. First game is going to be with Newcastle playing, and so I know it's going to be a bit of a late video, this one, before the Game Week 5 deadline. I'm sorry about that, but I didn't want to go change up all the template graphics I've made and stuff for the players because I've had Game Week 5, so I'm going to get this video out on the day just before the deadline of the EPL matches. So yeah, as you can see, there's the first point. So another thing that is going to be covered in this Game Week 5 watch list video is players with great stats so far this season. So if you're not planning on wildcarding and you don't want to know about players, maybe you can just check some players' stats. So just keep watching this video if you want to find out some stats. So that is another reason that is going to be, and another thing that is going to be going into this video. Another thing that will be in this video is players that are new / not talked about much that may be a good pick. So yeah, if there's new players that not many people talk about, like maybe Gallagher, he's been talked about a lot recently, but you'll see in the video other players that I have. Maybe you want to hear some new players instead of the usual template team. So yeah, this is another reason why you might want to check out this video and what is going to be included in this video as well. And lucky last, we've got premium / essential players for discussion. So as I've already mentioned, these are things we're going to be covering in this video, and it's just a bit of an index about what is going to happen in this video. And so yeah, our fourth thing is about premium / essential players for discussion. You know, we've got a few debates between Lukaku and Ronaldo at the moment, if we want to have one of them or both of them. Also Kane discussion and other premium players like Kevin De Bruyne. We know there's plenty of premium players, so maybe discussing a few of those might be a thing happening in this video as well. So yeah, so as I've just showed you, that is our plan for this video. So if you're still here, make sure you stay for the rest of the video and let's just get into it. Okay, so starting us off here, we have HeungMin Son. This guy, look, he's a Wolves forward, price 5.5 million. There's obviously a few options in the attacking a moment for Wolves. With obviously, as you know, we've got Traore, we've got Jimenez at the moment, and you know, there's great options for them. But this guy, he's played 1 week. You can see he's only played 26 minutes, and he actually scored Wolves' first goal except for that own goal. But this guy's looking pretty good, if I can be honest. If I have a look at his stats, as you guys can see, he's got an expected assist of 0.00. Obviously, he's only played 26 minutes. To be playing 26 minutes and having expected goals of 0.94, I would be pretty happy with that. His ownership when I was making this graphic was only 1.1%. It might have gone up by now. His price is still 5.5 million, as I believe, and he's got 74,399 transfers in. He might be a player you could have in your team, but I don't know about his minutes and if he's a minute risk. Obviously, he's only played 26 minutes as he's a new signing for Wolves. But yeah, look, as you can see, their transfers, we're all on top of Wolves transfers at the moment. As we know, they've got 3 green fixtures coming up. Fixtures: Brentford, Southampton and Newcastle. We know they're 3 teams that can play the game, but obviously Brentford, Southampton are teams who want to strike, and then obviously you got Newcastle there as well. So maybe looking to get in a Wolves attacker is probably a good option. You know, we've got Jimenez, Traore that are great options at the moment, so maybe thinking about him as someone that we might give a miss, but just have a look at his stats and have them here. You never know, like expected goals for 90 minutes is 3.25 after only scoring 1 goal because it was in the 26th minute of him playing so far this season. So maybe he might be a player to come up again in the later videos. He might be a player to look into later, but if you wanted to get on him earlier, I don't see why not. He's a $5.5 million forward. So yeah, if you want to take the risk, go ahead, get him early. You might get points before everyone hops onto him if he starts opening up and getting us some returns. So yeah, I reckon he might be a right option in the future. Alright, now moving on to very highly owned player and a talked about player, the Manchester City's forward midfielder known in FPL, Ferran Torres. He's obviously playing that number 9 position for Manchester City at the moment, as they didn't sign a number 9 in the off season. Look, he's looking pretty good. He might be starting there almost every game. Obviously, Pep's got him in that position, which is a good idea. Can we see him score against Chelsea and Liverpool, as you can see below, who he's got in game week 6 and 7? I don't know. I'm hoping he can because I'm a Manchester City fan, but the honest opinion, he might not be able to. After watching his Champions League game, he did look a bit off with some things. Maybe his touch, he'd had an opportunity to score. I think he had 2 or 3 opportunities. He didn't concede any, which is annoying. But look after that, game week 8, Burnley, and then Brighton game week 9, and Crystal Palace game week 10. I reckon he's an option to get in. Obviously, 16.4% have got him owned at the moment, and he's got 124 transfers in this game week 5. His price is 7.2 million. He's gone up 0.2 since he started the season. If we have a look at his stats, he's got expected goals of 2.51. He's played 308 minutes, so he's got a good expected goals in total so far. He's got a low expected assist. Obviously, playing that false 9, he's not going to be looking for expected assists. He's got his shots per 90 is 3.80, so he's getting shots away, which is good. He's obviously, as you guys can also see, he's got 308 minutes. His expected goals is 0.73, so every 90 minutes he's getting almost a goal, which is good stats here. As you guys can see, he's already put a few goals away. He's looking good at the moment, so he might be definitely a player to consider in the future, and if not at the moment. If you're wildcarding, maybe hold off him at the moment, but definitely bring him in on that fixture swing in game week 8, as he looks such a good player, Ferran Torres. I reckon he's got that job for a false 9, so he might be keeping that position, but if we see Foden, Kevin De Bruyne back, everything might change, so we'll have to keep an eye up. Maybe just keeping off the Pep rule, that's always a good idea, but Ferran Torres, he's a player that is got in a lot of discussion at the moment on Twitter, YouTube, anything. So yeah, we'll just keep an eye out for him, and if you want to get him in, I reckon he's a good option. If you don't want to get in him, that's alright, fair enough. So let's just move into the next player now, after we've discussed a bit about Ferran Torres. Okay, now this is a player that is looking very good at the moment, Allan Saint-Maximin. Obviously, in my video the other day with my wildcard reveal, I didn't have him in, I had Dennis in, but I've made a few fixtures changes that I might put on Twitter, so if you're not following it, check it out, link in the description as always. But I've put Allan Saint-Maximin in the front. He's a great player, I believe. 6.5 million his price, 6.5 million pounds. Look at those fixtures though, those are just fixtures that you just can't go against. As you can see, those fixtures are looking beautiful. Leeds, Watford, Wolves, Tottenham, Crystal Palace, and then Chelsea will be a hard fixture. But subbing him off, putting Gray in there, depends who's Demarais Gray is first thing. But, there's so many options for this front position at the moment. We've got Jimenez, but look, I've gone with Allan Saint-Maximin instead of that Jimenez spot, but I've definitely got Bamford in my team still. 210,000 people have also gone the same path as me when I've made this graphics, which was maybe about 2 days ago from posting this video. His ownership is 7.2%, exactly the same time I made this graphic, so it's probably changed now. His expected goals are looking good as well, as you can see, 0.50. That's still decent. He's put a few goals away. He's actually put 1 goal away this season and 2 assists, so that means his expected assists in total is 1.24, looking pretty nice here. That's a good total in general, to be honest. His expected goals per 90 is 0.12, but those fixtures that he's got now, I reckon he's going to be putting way more. We know what he's capable of. He's such a talented player, Allan Saint-Maximin. We know his skills, and we just know what he can expect if you've been in the FPL industry, or you've just been watching EPL for a while. His shots per 90 is 1.50, so he's still putting almost 2 shots away, maybe like 1.5 shots away. So he's got chances, shots per 90, he's played 360 minutes, so he hasn't been off, so coach is playing him, and yeah, I reckon he's a player that you guys should consider maybe in the future. If not, you could consider him now if you're on a wild card. Those fixtures are too good to miss and wait. Having him in for game week 5 and Watford game week 6 is a great option. I reckon I love Allan Saint-Maximin, and I reckon he's just a player I've got to have in my team until that fixture swing. I think it's game week 10, even after he's got a few good fixtures as well. So yeah, that's enough for him. Okay, we had to do Raul Jimenez. Since this guy's had the fire on him at the moment, everyone has been talking about him. If they want him in, if not, I've seen a lot of wildcard drafts on Twitter in Let's Talk FPL's video. And look, people have got Jimenez in. Is he a great option? Yes, I reckon he is. Look at those fixtures. You can't go against him. Has he got those returns for you yet? No, he hasn't, but that's alright. Everyone thinks that they will come soon. He's had few hard fixtures at the moment, but these fixtures coming now, they just look brilliant. As we look at his assist, his stats here, he's got expected goals of 1.02. That's looking good up since he hasn't had a return yet. He's taking 3 shots per game. If he has, just because he hasn't returned any of those yet, that is still good against hard fixtures. Not many people, when I made this graphic, have put him in their team, 91,000, but YouTubers posted about him since then, so I reckon he's gone up a lot. Don't have him on my screen right now to see what he's at, but you guys can always check in your own time. He's priced as 7.4 million. I reckon that's a decent price for that front forward. I've obviously got St. Maximin in this position and Bamford, but his ownership is 4.4%. And, you know, he's just a good player at the moment. Everyone's just going off because of his fixtures. And, you know, the Mexican, he's just a player you guys can probably rely on. But one of the things I would wait for, if I was going to get him in, I would want to wait for him to get a return to just make sure he's capable of that. I know he probably is capable of it. He wouldn't be in the EPL if he's not. But probably waiting into seeing if he can get returns first. Maybe you could hold off to like game week 7 against Newcastle if you wanted to bring him in, if on that wild card or whatever. You know, there's probably going to be a lot of wild cards in game week 7, especially because Chelsea's fixture swings, etc. And maybe even preparing for Man United and fixture swing and all that stuff. But he's played 360 minutes. He's had hard fixtures. Looking to bring him in now would probably be a good idea. But as I said before, I'm holding off him until I see some returns from him. So is a lot of other FPL managers that I've seen lately. So yeah, this guy, he's had a lot of discussion on him, and I'm open to keep hearing good stuff about him. But let's just hope Wolves can score this week, and he can score against Brentford, and they can keep a clean sheet, because I've obviously got that one Wolves defender in my defence. So okay, here we have a bit of a different graphic, and it is who should we consider out of these two Everton players that are both looking deadly at the moment, and 0.2 off each other. Well, I think Gray is actually 5.7 now, but 0.3 off each other. I reckon these guys are both capable of deadly stuff in the near future. Obviously, we can see they have 2, maybe 3 or 4 hard fixtures coming up. Aston Villa, Man United, and West Ham. In between Aston Villa and Man United, we can see they have Norwich, Watford and Wolves. Obviously, Dominic Calvert-Lewin is out with an injury at the moment. He's set to return in sometime early October. So having Townsend and Gray, what one out of both of them? Obviously, the double up might be a bit risky, but there's so many other good midfielders out there that there's no point in having them as a double up. So as we look at their fixtures, they've got some good fixtures. Not fixture stats. As we look at their stats, they've got some good stats there, as we can see. Demarai Gray has played 346 minutes, and Andros Townsend has played 260. So maybe appearances, they've both played 4 appearances, but maybe that minutes risk, the coach taking them off early might be something. Maybe he's taking off Townsend earlier. As you can see, he's got less minutes. Both of them aren't injury risk, which is good, but let's have a look at their shots. So Demarai Gray's got, not on this graphic, as you can see, that I don't have the shots, but looking at stats on my computer, Gray has got 2.08 shots per 90, and Townsend has got 1.38. Returns, Andros Townsend has got 2 assists and 1 goal. Alright, that's pretty good. In total, it equals 3, and Demarai Gray's just got that 3 goals, no assist. That's alright. Obviously, you want goals, more points, but the expected assist for Gray is 0.39, which is not too bad. Expected assist per 90 is 0.10, which is not the greatest yet. In the future, though, I reckon he's going to be getting returns for everyone. His expected goals per 90 is 0.24, and Townsend tops both of them with a 0.39 expected assist. look, they're both good players and stuff. I reckon you have to have Demarai Gray in your team at the moment. As we've seen, he's a younger player. He's capable of a bit more at the moment, and he's definitely more talked about. But I had to put Townsend in the mix as well. Not many people have discussed this player, so he's definitely someone you can consider. As you saw, the person that got the most points this week, he had Townsend and Gray in his team. If you want to double up or take the risks, and you might be getting points, and other people managers won't be. The majority of managers won't be, to be honest. But look, if you want to have him in your team, go for it. They're both good players, but if I was to pick one, it'd be Demarai Gray, just because the majority has him in their team. But it's not just because that. His expected goal indices, which is both of them together, is 1.30, as we see 0.4 higher than Townsend's. They're both really similar, but Demarai Gray obviously being 0.3 more. That might be something to think about, but either way, they're both great players. But yeah, I reckon Gray is just the solution at the moment, to be honest. Okay, now moving on to some premium selection and talking about them. In our watch list, if you don't have these players, but we've got Cristiano Ronaldo first up. He's highly owned, someone that a lot of people have, and you should have him. There's no questions about it. He's one of the best goal scorers ever in football. And so he's just a player you can't risk not having him. As we know, he's got 35.6% of managers out of that 8.80 million odd that are playing FPL have got him in their team, which is remarkable. That is so many managers that have got him. His price is 12.5, now 12.6 as I'm recording the video. His expected goals after one game, as we can see, he's only played 90 minutes. Ole's only put him on for 90 minutes, obviously, because he just came from Manchester United from Juventus. But his expected goals is 1.42. His expected assist 0.02, obviously no assists yet, but that might come. But he's not in the team to get assists, he's in the team to just get goals and play that role up the front. His shots per 96, he took 6 shots against Newcastle, which is a lot of shots, and scoring 2 out of those 6 shots, that's pretty good, I'll be honest. That is really good. Something to maybe think about with United. I'm taking him out in game week 8, putting Lukaku in. But look, his fixtures are good for the next 3 game weeks. West Ham, he might put a few past them, maybe one past them, maybe an assist, or maybe some kind of points past them. Then Aston Villa and Everton, he's definitely capable of scoring both past both of them teams. Then Leicester, Liverpool, Tottenham, and some very difficult fixtures on the way, That is something to think about. And if you don't want Cristiano Ronaldo, then Lukaku is definitely another choice. But if you want to play them both, then you're going to be racking up points, I reckon. He's such a good player to have in your team. And if you can have both of them players in your team, Lukaku and Cristiano Ronaldo, then you're just going well with FPL. Look, Ronaldo is definitely a player that a lot of managers have, as you guys can see, and as I've already mentioned. But I am not going to be having him in for the next after the next 3 fixtures. I put him in this week on my wild card. He's a player you have to have. I couldn't miss out another game seeing him score goals. Was just pretty sad, to be honest, when I was wanting him not to score because I didn't put him in my team. But now I've got him in my team. I want him to score points and then drop off again for Leicester, Liverpool, Tottenham. He could definitely put past a few past for Leicester and Tottenham, and even Liverpool. We know what he's capable of. It's Cristiano Ronaldo. So yeah, let's just end it there. We know it's Cristiano Ronaldo. Let's get into our last discussion. Alright, our last player we have here to discuss in this video, we've got Romelu Lukaku. We know how much of a threat this player is. He's got 543, 500,000 transfers in game week 5, alright? It's definitely probably higher now, maybe even 600k or higher. His price is £11.6 million, which we know is a lot, but look, his ownership is 28.3, just below Ronaldo. His expected goals is 2.53 in total. He's played 270 minutes this season. His shots per 90 minutes is 4. His expected goals is just almost 1 goal per game. This player, you have to have him in game week 7 onwards. Against Tottenham and Man City, he might be quiet. Definitely against Man City, I'm hoping he is quiet. But against Tottenham, he probably isn't quiet if they played how they played last week against Crystal Palace. But look, those fixtures swing for Chelsea players. Reece James, Rudiger, Mason Mount, and Romelu Lukaku, even Havertz. There's so many players. Alonso. There's so many players you can have from Chelsea, but having Lukaku in your team is definitely a thing you have to consider. Even if that's taking out Ronaldo, you can have that few extra million to put Ronaldo back in after the Lukaku's fixtures, because you got to have Ronaldo back in your team for their United's fixture swing. So if he goes up in the meantime, then yeah. But Lukaku's fixtures after Man City and Tottenham is Southampton, Brentford, Norwich, and Newcastle. Southampton at home. Chelsea are just going to blow away Southampton. We'll obviously see how Man City versus them tomorrow night, but let's just see how they play. But Lukaku, he's a must-have. I want to get him in my team in game week 7 on a free transfer, and a lot of other managers are going to as well. He's going to get his ownership up a mile, and this player is just someone that's capable of everything. We've seen him in the Serie A for Inter Milan. We've seen him compete against Ronaldo already before in the Serie A. So let's just see how he goes again. We know he's a player. If you're gonna put him in this week, then go for it. If you have the room, if you're gonna put Ronaldo in him together, as I've already mentioned with Ronaldo, then that is another great plan. So just do what you want about Romelu Lukaku. He's just a player that is so deadly in everywhere on that field. He can just put that ball in the back of the net, which you want in a striker. He's not a minute's risk at all. I don't reckon Tuchel is going to be taking Romelu Lukaku off because he's in the team to play. So yeah, that is it for my players. That is it for my video. Look, that is it for looking at all the watch list players in my video. So yeah, let's just get to the outro. Come on. Okay, that is a wrap up from me. I hope you guys learnt some things about some highly talked about plays, even some plays that aren't so much talked about. But that is the watch list that I have produced for you guys. Sorry it is pretty late into almost the deadline, like a few hours before the deadline. I tried to get early just because of schoolwork and stuff. I haven't been able to concentrate on getting my editing and stuff going, so I've been doing it late at night. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video that I did find time to produce, and I'm happy to keep producing videos because I love it, just please drop a like and subscribe. I don't want to keep being a YouTuber that begs for like and subs, but it means so much and it just makes me want to keep doing my job and doing this job. So yeah, if you're lacking the graphics as well, comment down below. If you have any questions, comment down below. I've always got my comment section open, so just check out any other videos I've made before, and just check out my Twitter, TikTok, and check out any other FPL players' TikToks and stuff. If you want to learn things and want to look into the FPL YouTube, just put the noti bell on, and just keep getting ready to watch videos from me every once a week, sometimes twice a week like today. But yeah, that's it from me, and just thank you so much for watching, guys. See you later. Peace.